compact system of drone that can be carried on a bike. This bike has been customized to carry the unassembled drone. Bike packs like these are helping transport Kisan drones across rural terrain and introducing modern agricultural practices at grassroots level all across India. Kisan drones, bolstered by government subsidies and outreach programs, are saving time, increasing yield and empowering farmers and rural youth by
सर्वेक्षण ड्रोन, जिसने सरकार की स्वामित्व स्कीम के अंतर्गत लाखों भारतीय गांवों की संपत्ति का मानचित्र सरकारी दस्तावेजों में दर्ज किया है। सेंटीमीटर स्तर के अचूक आंकड़ों की मदद से इन ड्रोन्स ने भारत सरकार को रेल, पुल एवं अन्य निर्माण कार्यों पर कड़ी नजर रखने में मदद की है। ये जो घर को दर्शाता हुआ चित्र आपके सामने है, दरअसल ये उन सभी घरों, गांव एवं संपत्ति को दर्शाता है जिसका मानचित्र आज इन ड्रोन्स की मदद से मिनटों में हो जाता है, जो किसी जमाने में कई घंटों या दिनों में भी कर पाना असंभव सा लगता था।
Today, drone in companies survey drones are being used across the country to monitor construction of highways, railways, and other national infrastructural projects. Survey drones are enabling government officials and private corporations in generating actionable insights and enabling them to take data-based decisions in real time. Survey drones help to collect high-resolution geospatial data with centimeter-level accuracy using advanced positioning and navigation technology within a fraction of time of what it would take to do surveying traditionally.
नभः स्पर्शम दीप्तम। भारतीय वायुसेना के टच द स्काई विद ग्लोरी के सिद्धांत से प्रेरणा लेते हुए इस ड्रोन का नारा है आईज इन द स्काई।
आप सुरक्षित हैं, आपके लिए मदद भेजी जा रही है।
This young person has been informed by this flying zone that he is not alone and that he is being taken care of.
जोश की बूंदे बूंदों में जीत ही गूंजे, इस गूंज से गिर जाएगा आसमान भी कदमों में, रोको ना सपनों।
मंजिलें क्या है, रास्ता क्या है, हौसला हो तो फिर फासला क्या है. And the scene in front of you all continues, ladies and gentlemen, wherein Hoverit drone is developed for emergency delivering of various packages, which includes food, medicines and other logistic items during emergency and disaster situation in remote or difficult to reach areas. This drone has payload drop capacity of up to 20 kgs. This platform can be used by military to drop payload or bombs up to 20 kgs in hilly terrain.
दिव्यांग सज्जनों, उसी राहत और बचाव के कार्य को आगे बढ़ाते हुए आपके सामने पेश है होवरेट द्वारा निर्मित ये ड्रोन, जो कि न केवल दवाइयां बल्कि दूर दराज के बंजर बिहड़वान इलाकों में भी खाद्य पदार्थ और रहन सहन की मूल सुविधाएं पहुंचाने में सक्षम है। कहते हैं डूबते को तिनके का सहारा काफी होता है, लेकिन आज के दौर के भारत में तिनके की वो जगह इस विश्व स्तरीय ड्रोन ने ले ली है। शान या की प्राण गाहो दान, आज एक धनुष के बाण पे उतार दो, आरंभ है प्रचंड। इश्क पर जोर नहीं चलता ये वो आतिश गालिब कि लगाए ना लगे और बुझाए ना बुझे। लेकिन जहां आग बुझाने की बात है तो देवी और सज्जनों आपके सामने आ रहा है ड्रोन स्टार्क द्वारा बनाया गया ये ड्रोन, जो बेहद कुशलता से आग बुझाने में सक्षम है। ये ड्रोन अग्निशमन गेंदों का इस्तेमाल करके बिना आग के नजदीक जाए आग को बुझा सकता है।
Ladies and gentlemen, drones of Drone Star Company with precision dropping capability can be used for firefighting in emergency situations to avoid risk to human lives. These drones are equipped with thermal imaging cameras which can identify hotspots that are not visible to the naked eyes. This helps firefighters to locate the source of fire, spot the affected area and ensure that fire is fully extinguished. Idea Forge advanced real-time image processing capability are helping automate and optimize surveillance of critical establishments and border areas. दुश्मनी से हमारा कोई वास्ता नहीं, पर हमसे दुश्मनी करोगे तो बचने का कोई रास्ता नहीं. Ladies and gentlemen, as you can see on your left, that two people dressed as terrorists are attempting to infiltrate the venue. This drone automatically detects them and starts following their movements on almost all types of terrains.
दिल से निकलेगी ना मरकर भी वतन की उल्फत, मेरी मिट्टी से भी खुशबुए वफा आएगी। इतिहास गवाह है कि अगर हमारे देश की सीमा को कोई लांघने की कोशिश करेगा तो ना हम पहले चुप बैठे थे ना अब चुप बैठेंगे। इसी सोच को आगे बढ़ाते हुए आइडिया फोर्ज का ये ड्रोन अब आपके सामने दो घुसपैठियों की हलचल को पहचानते हुए उनकी हर हरकत का पीछा करेगा और इसका सीधा प्रसारण कैंप में लगे कंप्यूटर पर लिया जा सकता है।
है मेरी ज़मीं अफसोस नहीं जो तेरे लिए सौ दर्द सही।
Abhishek Balla is getting us more details right now. These are pictures on your screen from the Hindon Airbase where the Bharat Drone Shakti event is currently underway. Abhishek, talk to us about first of all, we'll talk about the drones in a moment from now, but the Indian Air Force inducting formally the C295 aircraft, the importance of this particular development today with the informal induction.
Idea Forge drone, Raisi and fiber drones retrofitted
away from the close combat situation. These drones, ladies and gentlemen, have sensors which are able...
Well, Sneha, just ahead of the formal induction of transport aircraft C295, which is the newest platform in the Indian Air Force, what we are witnessing right now is a demonstration of various kinds of drones that are being manufactured in India. 75 indigenous companies have come here at the Hindon Airbase showcasing their capabilities, both civilian as well as military in nature. What we are witnessing right now is a surveillance drone that is able to precisely catch the movement of intruders inside their own territory. So these are the kind of capabilities that several drones have, and it's not just the Air Force but also the Navy and the Indian Army that are using such drones extensively, and in fact in time to come there will be several such capabilities that are going to be part of the Indian military. Having said that, you know, the big focus of today's event is of course the induction of the C295 transport aircraft. Why this is significant is that one, it will replace the aging fleet of the Avro transport aircraft that were inducted way back in the 1960s. This is also significant because it will be the first military transport aircraft to be manufactured in India. This is a deal of 56 transport aircraft, out of which 16 will be brought in a flyaway condition from Spain, and the remaining 40 will be manufactured in India as part of a joint venture between Tata's and Airbus Aerospace. And over the next 7 to 8 years, by 2031, the entire fleet of 56 will be part of the Indian Air Force. And we all know the importance of transport aircraft. It was at display a few years back when the India-China tussle was at its peak in Ladakh. Not only did transport aircraft of the Indian Air Force carry men and equipment and logistics to the forward locations, but they were also very critical in ensuring that heavy armaments are carried at the front lines. This is something that the Indian Air Force is looking to enhance over the next few years. And as part of those plannings, these critical transport aircraft, which are multi-mission transport aircraft, so they can not only carry material and men, but they can also carry out patrol missions, surveillance missions. So in a true sense, these are multi-mission transport aircraft that the Indian Air Force will have in their fleet now.
Well, absolutely. It's also important to point out here the fact that C295s that are getting inducted today as we speak, Abhishek, is equipped with indigenous electronic warfare systems. Okay, indigenous electronic warfare systems is what we're talking about. Ram doors for quick reaction and para-dropping of troops and cargo. And like Abhishek was pointing out, these C295s are extremely significant from the point of view of performing special missions and especially during disaster response and maritime patrol duties as well. C295s that are getting inducted today will gradually replace the Indian Air Force's old Avro 748 fleet. The time frame is between 2023 to 31.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you see minutely to your right, a very small looking high-speed drone laden with explosives is launched in the air and is moving towards the central tent placed in front of you, which is being simulated as an enemy target. This drone is going to smash itself into window of this house and will explode it. Kamikaze drones can be used to covertly track and destroy adversary targets. These drones are packed with explosives which can be flown directly at a tank or any hostile structure which gets destroyed when this drone hits the targets and explodes. आग को खेल पतंगों ने समझ रखा है, सबको अंजाम का डर हो ये जरूरी तो नहीं।
देवियों एवं सज्जनों, कृपया अपनी कुर्सी की पेटी बांध लें, क्योंकि अब हम आपको लेके जाने वाले हैं एक रोमांच से भरे सफर पे, जहां भारतीय कंपनी द्वारा बनाया गया ये ड्रोन, जिसे कामिकाजे ड्रोन के नाम से जाना जाता है, देश के लिए मर मिटने के जज्बे के साथ अपने निर्धारित निशाने की ओर बढ़ता है और पलक झपकते ही उसे निस्तो नाबूद करने का मादा रखता है। कौन कहता है कि मौत आई तो मर जाऊंगा, मैं तो दरिया हूं, समंदर में उतर जाऊंगा।
We'll continue to keep a very close eye on all of those developments as far as the induction of C295 is concerned. Meanwhile, India today's Shivarur got this exclusive access to C295 aircraft earlier. Here's a ground report that he sent us from Spain.
We're here in Sevilla in Spain at an Airbus assembly facility to see something that Indian journalists are seeing for the first time. That is the first C295 aircraft for the Indian Air Force. This aircraft is the first one that's been built by Airbus, a part of 16 such aircraft that are going to be built at this sprawling facility and delivered very soon. This particular aircraft is going to be delivered in just the next few weeks to the Indian Air Force, after which 15 more such aircraft will be built at this precise facility in Sevilla in Spain for delivery to the Indian Air Force. So I'm walking around the aircraft. It's a first look at C295 number 1 for the Indian Air Force. It's going to be fulfilling a long-standing need that's been felt by the Indian Air Force for over a decade. It was a requirement to replace the old vintage British HS-748 Avro aircraft I'm walking around the first C295 now, under the tail area of this aircraft. The important thing about the C295, remember, isn't the fact that the first 16 are going to be built here in Spain. And here on India Today, we've gotten first access to the aircraft also because something very important is taking place back in India. 16 of these aircraft are going to be built here in Spain, but the other 40, as many of you will know if you've been watching India Today and my show, is that the other 40 are going to be built in Vadodara at a Tata facility. These aircraft will have their technology transferred by Airbus to their partner Tata, and then Tata becomes the first Indian private sector company to build military aircraft for the Indian Armed Forces. The Indian Air Force operates aircraft like the AN-32, the Avros of course are being phased out, but these aircraft are going to be fulfilling an extremely crucial need. Remember, the Air Force operates aircraft for many different things, but its transport aircraft are crucial because India is geographically large. We've got all kinds of terrain. This particular aircraft is capable of landing on unprepared surfaces. It's designed for operations of high altitude areas, which is a particularly difficult thing, in aviation because of the thin atmosphere and the various other challenges. And remember, India has important, crucial air bases at high altitude, whether it is Leh, whether it is Thois, the world's highest military airfield, which is Daulat Beg Oldi, is also in India, and the aircraft of this kind has been proven to be able to operate from such forbidding locations. Now, 56 aircraft of this kind will be built for the Indian Air Force. That number might go up because the Indian Air Force, apart from replacing its old Avros, also has to replace over 100 AN-32 aircraft. And AN-32s, remember, are of Ukrainian origin. Great aircraft, they're workhorses of the Indian Air Force, but they are also aging and will need to be replaced by new generation transport aircraft of the kind that the C295 is. Whether or not that happens remains to be seen, but with an Indian factory churning out these aircraft between now and 2031, it stands to reason that this very same aircraft should actually replace the AN-32. Apart from the Indian Air Force's own requirement, this is a very versatile aircraft in the sense it's not just a transport aircraft. Look at it as a bit of a Swiss Army knife. It depends on what you put into it. You can sling on a maritime radar, it becomes a maritime patrol aircraft. Very much like what the Indian Navy and the Indian Coast Guard are looking at. About 15 aircraft in total is what they're looking at. It can be used for land surveillance if you put on the right kind of sensor. The Border Security Force is looking for that kind of capability. If you add passenger seats, you can convert it into a short-haul regional airliner. India needs many hundreds of those kind of thing. If you add anti-submarine sensors and a torpedo capability, it can become an anti-submarine aircraft. If you put a radar on its back, it can become an airborne early warning platform. So what I mean is it's very modular. It depends on what you want to do with the aircraft, and it can be used for all these different kinds of purposes. So if you have a production line for the C295 in India, it becomes something very useful for India's different and very disparate needs across different terrains. So it's historic in all kinds of ways because the C295 not only fulfills all these needs, but gives India an aircraft manufacturing capability in the private sector which has never been there before. Airbus has had a long relationship with India, but this is for the first time that such an ambitious and landmark project is being executed. 56 of these aircraft being built 100%, almost 100% in India by the end of the entire program. In Sevilla, Spain, this is Shiv Arur for India Today.
Shiv Arur's exclusive ground report from Spain, in fact, that he filed earlier this year. These are C295s that Shiv was in fact telling us about, which is in fact being formally inducted into the Air Force today itself. And that ceremony in fact is underway at the Hindon Airbase in Uttar Pradesh. Right now, our Defence Minister Rajnath Singh is also there. This is replacing the Indian Air Force's old Avro 748 fleet in the 2023-31 time frame. That's going to be boosting the Indian Air Force's tactical airlift capability. Abhishek, in fact, continues to be with us. Abhishek, if you could once again for our viewers talk to us about how hugely significant this is from the point of view of special missions as well as disaster response.
Big significance, Sneha. One, that of course, it's going to be replacing the aging fleet of the Avro aircraft that the Indian Air Force still uses. In fact, it's been in service since 1960, so you can well imagine how old they are, and they need immediate replacement. Also, the big critical aspect is that, this will be an indigenous capability that India will have, because it's a joint venture between Tata's and Airbus. So out of the 56 aircraft, 16 will be brought in flyaway condition from Spain. This is the formal induction of the first C295 that has already landed and will be formally inducted into the Indian Air Force. The remaining 15 will be brought in by 2025, and there onwards, every year there will be at least one aircraft that will be manufactured. So by 2031-32, the entire fleet of 40 aircraft that are to be made in India will be completely ready. There is an assembly line of critical spare parts that has come up in Hyderabad. The assembly of the aircraft will take place in Vadodara. The plant has already been set up over there, where the manufacturing will happen at that facility. In fact, that was inaugurated by Prime Minister Narendra Modi a little while earlier. Also, the significance of these aircraft is that not only can they transport men and material to high altitude areas, forward locations, but can also carry out recce missions, patrol missions, maritime patrolling. So truly, in a sense, these are multifaceted aircraft that the Indian Air Force will have in their fleet.
With these pictures live on your screens right now from the Hindon Airbase in Uttar Pradesh right now, where Defence Minister Rajnath Singh is there. We were talking about the C295s, which will be equipped with indigenous electronic warfare systems, also rear ram doors for quick reaction and para-dropping of troops and cargo. The induction ceremony is underway right now as we speak, even as India's drone Shakti really on display. Abhishek talked to us about this aspect of today's ceremony as well, where in fact, a lot is being said about the fact that this really essentially is a way to go forward with the Indian Air Force and the Drone Federation of India coming together to talk about Bharat's growing drone Shakti today.
At the formal induction ceremony, we also what we are witnessing is the drone capabilities that are available now indigenously. There are about 75 startups that are showcasing their drones here, and again, these are both of civil as well as military nature that are at showcase here. And in the display, we've already seen various aspects of how drone capabilities can help, be it from dousing a fire to airdropping payloads and bombs, precisely locating any intrusion that has taken place in your territory. And this is something that the Indian military is looking forward at as far as enhancing their capabilities are concerned, considering that unmanned warfare is a big focus, a big thrust for militaries world over, and that's something that the Defence Ministry, in fact, is encouraging, and they are wanting private players to showcase their capabilities so that these drone capabilities and any kind of unmanned warfare capabilities that are available within the country can be acquired by the Indian Armed Forces.
Be with us. In fact, these are pictures of the Defence Minister live right now on your screens, and like Abhishek was telling us, this is also a display of India's drone capabilities. The Defence Ministry is already said that the usage of drones in India is seeing an increase, both importantly in the military as well as the civil domain. Please be careful with of the C295 transport aircraft into the Indian Air Force. The Defence Minister on your screens right now, Rajnath Singh, This is the induction ceremony being done in the presence of top officials, top military officials, including Indian Air Force Chief, Air Chief Marshal V.R. Chaudhary, who in fact played an instrumental role as the then Deputy Chief of Air Staff in 2021 when he in fact worked towards contract negotiations. The contract worth nearly 22,000 crore was signed in fact in the year 2021 in the month of September. The C295 MW aircraft is a transport aircraft of 5 to 10 ton capacity. It can carry as many as 71 troops or 49 paratroopers at a maximum cruise speed of 216 knots. The C295 is designed to provide outstanding low-level flight characteristics for tactical missions, flying at speeds as low as 110 knots. The aircraft has a rear ramp door for quick reaction and paradropping of troops and cargo. All 56 aircraft have been installed with an indigenous electronic warfare suite. It has been made by Bharat Electronics Limited and Bharat Dynamics Limited. So make in India in every sense of the word there. The Su-295 is powered by two Pratt and Whitney Canada PW127G turboprop engine. It has a short takeoff and landing characteristics and the ability to use unprepared airstrips as well. The C295 can be fitted with 26 stretchers and 7 medical attendants when it comes to medical evacuation missions. It's fully equipped to handle important medical evacuation missions as well. These are C295s that are in fact fitted with stretchers, 24 of them, and 7 medical attendants. Also remember, this event is about drones as well. C295 is being formally inducted, and the Indian Air Force and Drone Federation of India, who are co-hosting what you see on your screens right now is the Bharat Drone Shakti 2023 event in Ghaziabad. This is the Hindon Airbase on your screens right now. The Defence Ministry has spoken about the fact that usage of drones is seeing an increase both in the military as well as the civil domain. This is of course to showcase the prowess of the Indian drone industry at full capacity, hosting over 50 live aerial demonstrations. It's a two-day event showcasing survey drones, agriculture drones, fire suppression drones and tactical surveillance drones as well. Participation of more than 75 drone startups and corporates as well. Abhishek in fact continues to be with us as far as this important event today is concerned. It's got both to do with the drones, but the highlight continues to be C295s. Talk to us a little about, Abhishek, about the fact that these are also equipped very well to handle medical evacuations.
As you have seen, ladies and gentlemen, this is a very compact system of drone that can be carried on a bike. This bike has been customized to carry the unassembled drone. Bike packs like these.
Okay, on your screens are pictures, in fact, of a drone display right now. Remember, 75 drone companies and many startups have been invited to showcase their work as far as the increase in use of drones for both military and civil reasons is concerned. Let's take a listen.
This has been supplied to Indian Air Force 10 systems, to Navy and Army. And in addition to that, we have a very low power drone detection system also at the air surface. So in habitable areas, so this is the drone structure. Basically, the payload, electro-optical miscellaneous system built up to it, making it go at any point of time. So capture कहते हैं, which is the power system. Sir, ये up to 50 kgs लेके 100 meters तक constantly surveillance कर सकता है 24/7. 24/7. Yes. So power supply नीचे से रहता है. So at any point of time, at any point of time, it can be used for surveillance or any kind of requirement. Similar kind of tools which is only one pulse.
मैंने जाना पड़ेगा भाई।
On your screen are live pictures of Defence Minister Rajnath Singh right now. In fact, what really is on display is 75 drone startups, in fact, who are talking about the kind of work that drones essentially can do. Of course, they're seeing an increase both in the military as well as the civil domain. Abhishek, in fact, continues to be with us. This aspect of the event that is on display right now is of the drone Shakti, and that's the reason why more than 75 drone startups and corporates have been invited to showcase their work. Abhishek.
That's why these all indigenous companies are showcasing their capabilities, and this is both civil and military in nature. The unmanned warfare is something that the Indian armed forces are looking to enhance in the next few years. And what we saw here is, drones carrying out patrolling missions, armed drones their targets with precision, also firefighting capabilities, or you're picking up any of intruders. So these are the kinds of missions that unmanned warfare entails, and there's been a big focus on this. And while the induction ceremony of the C295 is just about to, but there was a bit of a demo given by these several drone companies that were invited by the Indian Air Force to showcase how they are functioning. Also took place a little while earlier. From now onwards, in a little while, the formal induction ceremony of the C295 will take place. The C295, as we all know, is the transport aircraft. In fact, this is the newest induction in the armed forces. The importance of transport aircraft is something that was at display a couple of years back during the COVID-19 pandemic, where we saw Indian Air Force literally crisscrossing across the globe, carrying oxygen cylinders. So that was one aspect which was non-military in nature, but extremely critical. But when it comes to military capabilities, transport aircraft not only ensure quick deployments of troops in forward locations or in high altitude areas, but it also ensures that material and critical equipment, including heavy armaments, can be transported to some of the far-flung areas. And that was, of course, at display during the Ladakh, India-China tussle in Ladakh, where the Air Force has played a very critical role in ensuring that not only are deployments possible at a short notice, but that the Indian forces never had any trouble as far as logistics and material is concerned.
That's right. On your screen,